Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Join me, my co-host, Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Joseph.
Hello.
And Jehu. Back again to discuss probably something we've shat on the most on this show, unanimously, which is the CW DC universe and their 5-part crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earths, which, surprisingly, the DC films can't get right, but the TV shows on a shitty-ass hot person network, essentially, because everyone on that channel is attractive, can do, but nothing else can. I'm really excited to hear what everybody else says. I saw this like a month ago. Like I've been up to date, but
well, you know, I mean, all these shows that they do on the CW are all like teen dramas. Like everything they do is teen dramas, and like these shows, I think like they sort of like date back in like formula to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, you know, that formula of you give somebody superpowers and you surround them with the Scooby Gang, and then the Scooby Gang sort of makes these ironic jokes of, oh man, this weird, like, super movie comic book shit is happening in real life. Like, well, that's crazy, right? And then you know, do that for like 8 seasons. Yeah. And like, I can remember when Buffy was going, every geek on Earth was like, man, this is what comic book, like, live action should be like. Because movies had never really gotten the episodic nature of comic books and the sort of soap opera-y nature of comic books. And this felt exactly like that. And so I guess some geek out there made a wish on a monkey's paw. And we got it. And the first one we really got, even though it's not part of this universe until this, was Smallville. And they made around 400 episodes of Smallville. And like 20 of them are good.
I've tried watching Smallville, and it's so freaking hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I never watched a single minute, and I'm okay with that.
My dear friend Sam McLean loves Smallville, and like he would try to get me to watch it, and I would try to, and it would just harm me how much I groaned.
Well, you know what's funny is I never really had made the Buffy comparison, but you're absolutely right. It feels so much like Buffy, but worse.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
And really all of these are, not just the CW ones, but like the Marvel Netflix series really sort of followed that formula too. It was just like a darker version of it, you know? I mean, their Foggy Nelson is 100% Xander. It's the same fucking character. Smallville, like, sort of sets the stage for these so much because it does this kind of thing that these shows do where in the beginning it was a little embarrassed of it. So it would do the thing instead of introducing a thing you liked. It would introduce this, there'd be a lady that, you know, maybe there would be like a fucking tension with. And, you know, it's like, oh, wow, this lady Clark has a tension with her. Maybe, you know, it would be rewarding for me as a viewer if they got together. But then you find out, even though you thought up until this point her name's like Beth Cake Eater or something, no, she's actually like, she has another name like Angie Beanfarter or something. And you're like, oh, Angie Beanfarter is the Flying Buttress. That's Superman's arch enemy. But then, like, later, they would actually introduce the actual Flying Buttress. You know, just shit like that. And definitely Arrow does that, like, 20 times, I think. You know? So, these shows, like, for me, were never rewarding from just watching them because they weren't very good, or from a fan service standpoint because it was all just so off the rails and just like, is this the thing I like or isn't it the thing I like? Can you even service me as a fan right?
Has anyone had any experience with these shows prior to watching this?
No, so we should probably go over which shows they are. Because it started with Arrow. Arrow is the original one that spun off into The Flash.
Correct.
Right.
Which spun off into
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Which spun off into Supergirl.
No, Supergirl was on a completely different network.
To begin with.
And
then got brought back on.
But this is the order they came out year-wise.
Correct, yeah.
And then got spun off most recently into, was it Batwoman?
Batwoman
And also
and Black Lightning.
And Black Lightning.
Yep.
Which Black Lightning actually wasn't initially part of it.
I did,
Yep.
Okay.
I have watched the first 2.5 seasons of Flash. I actually really kind of enjoyed that show when it first started, and then it was very samey. And it's not even necessarily the Monster of the Week thing that bugged me. I was just very annoyed with every villain is a speedster, and basically everything over and over again.
A lot of Speed Force.
Yeah, it got real annoying. And their version of Flashpoint was the nail in the coffin for me. I couldn't go back after that. But I was so not necessarily intrigued by this specific crossover, because they do it every year. They do like a 4 or 5 part thing where they all interact for a story. But they've been building to this since the first episode of The Flash.
That's true.
The very first episode of The Flash, you see a newspaper where it says The Flash goes missing in the crisis.
It's like the cliffhanger to the first episode of the first season.
Yep. And so here we are like 6 years later and finally getting some payoff to that.
There's no way they thought this was going to go 6 years.
I think they did, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough groundwork laid to say that at least it was always in the back of their mind, and they kept like dropping
it's like
it
a J.J. Abrams mystery box.
Sure.
Throw them out there.
That's fair.
Like when they started Arrow, they definitely didn't, because Arrow didn't even know what it was. It was a shame it wouldn't even call the character Green Arrow.
Yeah.
He didn't have a mask. He wore like fucking grease paint and shit.
He was like generic Batman.
And basically, it was like it couldn't decide whether
still
it wanted
kind
to
of
be a team,
generic Batman.
where it wanted to be a team drama or if it wanted to be like fucking Batman's Begin. And it tried to do both of those things. And I aggressively disliked it. I watched the first season of it, tried to. But I was the same as you. I also tried The Flash, and I kind of liked that for a while, and then I got fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
This experience, I know we've spent a long time as a culture talking about like the golden age of television, which supposedly now, I firmly believe we are in the silver age of television. It's the age of pretty good television. And, the age of excellent television was just like The Wire and Breaking Bad, and we're past it.
I'd agree with that.
But you know what? I feel like I've been shitting on the age of silver television because this show reminded me how much worse television was before that. I hate you guys for making me watch this. It was absolute trash, and I hated every fucking second of it.
See, I wanted to get into what we thought it was going to be before we even got to that.
It's too late.
It's too late.
One thing I really wanted to do about this because I watched it because I was intrigued by essentially the premise of it, and but after I watched it, I knew that you would hate it, and my big motivator in us doing an episode was forcing you to watch it.
Yeah, which is always fun.
Well done.
Yeah.
I, going into it, was not looking forward to watching it because specifically on these kind of shows, I think the worst part of them are usually the crossovers. Because, like, going to the Marvel ones, I remember watching Defenders, and Defenders is all right, but there was just so much of the guy who does Daredevil's dry cleaning would meet the lady who does Iron Fist's taxes, and they would talk to each other, and they would realize, even though they're not saving the world, if the dry cleaning isn't gotten and the taxes aren't done, then the world won't get saved. So in their own way, they're helping to save the world, and they're not so different. They're kind of alike. And it was literally that for 8 hours and then like 15 minutes of kicking, and it drove me fucking nuts.
Man, there literally was a line in this series, whatever it is, where I think it's Iris is talking about like their value as people is just to remind the supers why they're doing stuff.
When she's talking the doctor into it.
I will say that shit I was worried about, there wasn't a lot in this of that in this. This was mostly just like
it was bonkers.
It was bonkers is a good word for it.
Yeah. I had never watched any of these shows, so I was coming in completely fresh, but also with the expectations, which I knew what it was.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Oscar. And man, it was a lot of leather. A lot of leather costumes. It reminded me of a 90s X-Men movie.
For sure.
A lot of attractive people. It has a Dawson's Creek and
a lot of attractive people in these shows.
Yeah, vibe. It's not good, but
even the
I had
nerds
fun
are
with
super
it.
attractive.
I had fun with it.
Yeah, so I'm with you.
It's in that 45 to 55% as far as Transformers at 50. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I actually had fun. I watched it all today. So I put it off because I didn't want to watch it. I watched 4.5 episodes.
I watched it all in one day too.
Yeah, and I was having fun. I was like in the background like doing stuff and it was just playing, and it's one of those stupid shows where you don't need to pay all your attention to it.
Oh, sure.
And you get it all.
Well, so I guess just let's get into it.
Well, that's a good point. How do we want to structure this? Do we really want to go through the plot of these 5 episodes?
Every episode.
Because it's goddamn insanity.
I don't really want to go through it, but there are things I want to hit. First of all, those opening sort of alternate Earths you see. They start. I'm really glad that the first like piece of new footage you see is fucking Arliss.
Yeah.
Like it's Robert Wuhl from Batman. He does not look great.
No.
But
it was a fun night.
Yeah, I like the cold openings are basically Earths getting destroyed.
Sure.
There's infinite number of Earths. So they like screen into one from Batman 69.
Yeah,
66.
66, sorry.
That part was the saddest part for me, because I don't know a lot how much you guys know about Batman 66 and its behind-the-scenes lore, but Burt Warren had a huge dong. There was like a staff of people that it was their job to make sure Robin's dong didn't get shot. And to see that he's gotten so fat and he can't use that giant dong was really a bummer for me.
I think it's important to say that this crossover is loosely based upon a famous early 90s DC
late
story,
80s.
late 80s or DC storyline, and it adapts some things, but mostly is referencing. I feel like the point of this is just to reference every DC property we've had on
everyone
screen.
they could have gotten. Yeah.
Everyone.
I mean, definitely the concept, it follows very closely, which is
Monitor,
there are infinite
anti-monitor.
Earths. There's a guy called the Monitor who's supposed to monitor the Earths. There's a guy called the Anti-Monitor who's trying to destroy the Earths. And it follows that pretty closely.
Yeah.
Are the Paragons in the
That Paragon and what was the other, Harbinger, are both directly from the comic.
Okay.
Harbinger's outfit was totally different.
Pariah.
I'm sorry, Pariah. Pariah's was goddamn dead on to the point of being embarrassing.
Wow. I actually, speaking of your leather, how did we feel about the costumes overall?
I mean, it's a TV budget, man. Like, it's to me, honestly, like I have no issue. I prefer all these fucking things to that CGI bullshit Ryan Reynolds wore.
You know what? I thought it was a real mixed bag. Like, the Flash costume looks pretty damn good, I think.
I mean, every year they've changed it to try to like tweak it and get the best
Supergirls look
version.
pretty good.
I like Supergirl's better before she
got the pants.
I like the skirt.
All the super people's costumes look pretty good.
I hate Superman's. Or the short Superman.
Brandon Ruth one or the
other guy, the short one.
the Road to Perdition guy?
Tyler.
Oh, fuck. Is that where that guy is?
Yeah, little
God damn.
Road to Perdition kid.
Well done.
He's on Teen Wolf too.
I even kind of liked the Monitor's whole get up.
I mean, he looked like the Monitor.
They really went for it on that. Yeah.
But some of them were just absolute dumpster diving garbage trash.
The Adams
costumes.
is the worst in my opinion. I hate the Adams costume.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've stuck with that.
Yeah.
Who is like the
Black Widow. That's why. That's the only one I couldn't place.
Oh, that's what I was talking about, where at one point they introduced a chick who might be Black Canary, and then they killed her, and then they introduced the real Black Canary, and then they brought back the chick who might have been the Black Canary and made her White Canary. I think is how it works.
That is how it went down.
Okay, because that was the one I could not place. They never said her name. Like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
Also, I'll full disclosure, did not make it through all 5 episodes, but I read the synopsis.
Well, I got to say, if you really went, the first 3 are the most fun.
Oh, that's good. I made it through 3.
Okay.
The Arrow guy, despite the fact that I know he kicked off this universe, does not fit in this fucking universe at all. Like, I remember everybody else
old.
in their fun, joyful, ridiculous comic book costumes he's coming up with his fucking hood on. Like, what are you doing here, man?
That goes to what Jay was talking about. When it started off, it doesn't fit to exist in this world.
Right. Yeah.
The other part of that is that Spectre shit looked terrible. I mean, so bad.
I'll just wait till later to get into the Spectre shit, because that was probably the part of all this that annoyed me the most. But you talk about not knowing who the White Canary is and shit like that. The thing I noticed most about the first episode, which was the Supergirl episode, there was so much exposition. And I still needed so much more exposition. I still needed so much more shit explained.
Why was Superman and his baby living on some comet or something? Like, I didn't know.
That's why I was operating at about a 70% understanding of what was going on. 30% was going over my head, but I figured it's because I don't watch the shows, so I forgave that.
Right. Yeah, I would say I actually feel like it's really only a problem in the first episode. After that, when you do the Flash or Arrow episodes, I didn't feel like I needed to know shit that happened
I was about to
before.
say, the mechanics are kind of irrelevant. Just from the vibe of the room, you can tell whether the good guys or the bad guys are winning. That's pretty much all you need to know.
Speaking of the Supergirl episode, I'm really curious to hear what people thought of John Cryer's Lex Luthor.
I kind of dug it.
John Cryer as Lex Luthor is probably my favorite part of all this. Going into this, I was really bummed that Michael Rosenbaum wasn't coming back because he was the only good part of Smallville. But I really like John Cryer a lot.
There's 2 to 3 people that are having fun in this. John Cryer is one of them. I don't know who the other guy is. Is he supposed to be Brainiac? He talks a lot.
Martian Manhunter.
Oh, no.
In the first episode,
Brainiac.
It's Brainiac 3.
Yeah. Brainiac 5.
Okay. 5.
Yeah.
He seems like he's having fun, and Brandon Routh seems like he's having fun.
Brandon Routh is definitely like, man, I'm glad Superman Returns didn't ruin my life.
Yeah.
I thought that was great, though, because they brought in Infamous. What's the comic? Injustice. I mean, that's what happened when they said his Daily Planet was bombed, and all his people.
You're right. Yeah,
and he was like, "This is the second time I've been under mind control." I mean, the Joker, he did what he did in Injustice, which means the Joker poisons Superman and makes him think that they're trying to hurt his family, and he ends up killing his family himself.
See, I think you might be wrong about what he was referencing there. He specifically said, this is the second time I went crazy and had to battle a version of myself. I think they were bringing Superman 3 into fucking continuity.
Well, I
hope that the next time they do one of these, they cast somebody as fucking Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who plays Superman now?
Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill. Bring him in as fucking Robert Vaughn. He's already played Robert Vaughn once.
That's interesting.
He did say someone played a practical joke when they bombed, and then they had
because that's also Kingdom Come, though.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it was named Earth 96.
Yeah, but it was cool regardless. Yeah. That's the tone I got out of it.
Brandon Routh was probably the standout for me in this. I really enjoyed him coming back as Superman. It's such a weird thing, full of so many freaking references. You probably caught a lot of them. I feel like I caught maybe 60%.
Right. Yeah, that's where I was at.
It just was throwing shit on the wall and seeing what would stick, which was fun in my opinion. But
when you guys talk about Brandon Routh or John Cryer was probably the best, who do you think was the worst? Because I would say that acting is still a skill that eludes Ruby Rose.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, she's with such bad company that she's really not the worst.
Oh no,
I think she's the worst.
She's the worst.
Who's worse?
Yeah, she's bad. And that wig she has looks fucking awful.
That's the thing. I don't remember any of these fucking people. They're all terrible. There's that dude who's in the Flash, who's in the wheelchair at some point in the Flash, and is not in a wheelchair anymore.
The guy from Scrubs and
fuck that guy. He's a terrible actor.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Ed?
No. I don't know.
Who are we talking about?
He played Eobard in the first season.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been
he was on that TV show.
Wells.
Yeah, he was on that TV show, Ed. He had a TV show in the 90s.
What do you guys think of Kevin Conroy Batman? That's what I was interested in.
I was really disappointed with it.
I did not think it was good at all.
I think, man, it's hard for me to really judge it with Ruby Rose there just sucking the fucking life out of it.
It was a fan service moment. I enjoyed hearing his voice coming down the stairs or down the hallway.
I was about
to
say, when you hear his voice before you see him, it's like, oh, this shit is on.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't on.
It wasn't really
that
on.
suit looked bad. I don't know. And you're right, Ruby Rose is the worst regular member of the whole team.
I really don't think Stephen Amell, or however you say his name, is very good. He's
my
least favorite.
Yeah, no, he is the worst. That dude is a fucking charisma vacuum.
Didn't he do wrestling for a while?
He did.
Yeah. He should have stuck with that. Because of the 3 times he dies in this show, the one time that it's just physical, it's just him jumping into the void, I felt that. I was like, oh, man, the Arrow's going to die. And then he was like, oh, no, I didn't really die. Now I'm going to tell you about me dying. And that was fucking awful.
Yeah, having watched none of this fucking show, I could not believe that there had been a show that had gone on for 8 or 10 seasons with that dude as the fucking lead.
See, but the thing with him, it seems like he dies in the first episode, and then from there on, he's not really him. He's like Spectre.
But that's how he is.
Okay.
Him as the Spectre is no different than him as Green Arrow.
Oh, I thought his voice was different.
I don't think so.
I was going to try to structure this, but fuck it. The Spectre thing was the most what the fuck is even going on here? Because this guy with a beard shows up and goes, I'm Jim Corrigan, also known as the Spectre. And then a different guy says, you're not the Jim Corrigan I know. What the fuck is going on here?
I thought that was the dude who was supposed to play it in Constantine, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Because the live-action Constantine show had Jim Corrigan in it, and then it got kanks after one season, but I feel like it was supposed to become the Spectre in that show, and so they brought that guy back. So again, it's one of those things where fan service kind of dictated what the plot was going to do.
Right. Well, speaking of Constantine, his tie is too askew.
It
was never even intended to go
below
around
his nipples.
Right. If you're just putting on a tie to not tie at all, don't bother with the tie.
Yeah.
Also, they brought back Matt Ryan Constantine, which was
Well, he's been on Legends of Tomorrow pretty consistently.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which I think of all this, that's the most surprising thing to me, that Legends of Tomorrow is still a show.
Yeah.
I thought that lasted like one season.
That's fair. They got was that the Lucifer from the Fox Lucifer show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
You had the kids from the Teen Titans live action show.
Oh, yeah, they showed up to die.
Yeah.
And so did the Birds of Prey from the Birds of Prey
Fucking-
pilot.
Yep.
Yeah, 15 years ago or
Right.
something like that.
That was never even released, is only known from people watching on
The weird
internet.
one to me to not include is, if you're going to include why not do the Wonder Woman one you fucking filmed?
That was one of the things I was going to say. Wonder Woman and Aquaman, there was not a whiff of in this, and I guess that's because in this bizarro world of how much the DC films have fucked everything up, Wonder Woman and Aquaman are the only characters with
That's
too big a
very
clout
true.
to be on fucking TV.
Yeah.
Because there was an Aquaman on Smallville that I was like, oh shit, they could just pick that guy up for their league, but they didn't. Because I think he's too big of a deal for.
No Dean Clark, Terry Hatcher.
Oh no, Dean Cain.
Cain.
Fuck Dean Cain.
The Adventures of Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
But then on the other side of that, I think this was for a different reason. Not one whiff of Gotham.
No,
Yeah,
you're right.
that's a good
I didn't even think about it.
Well, Fox owns
Nobody
that.
does.
Oh,
That is
Fox
true,
probably
Fox
does
does.
still.
Yeah, that's probably why.
But I mean, I guess all these other
Disney
shows that were in there are at the very least cooperating with.
Yeah.
Or canceled.
Yeah, or canceled.
But I don't know. Did we tell the plot? The plot is basically there's a red wave of crap killing Earth,
It's irrelevant.
and they got to get this team together. Basically, is where we're at.
The bad guys
There's
trying to
7 of
destroy
them.
all the universes. They have to come up with an elaborate thing to not have all the universes destroyed. And then at the end, the universes don't get destroyed. Or they do, or who gives a fuck? The good guys win.
If you're making fun of that structure, you literally hate every event movie ever.
I don't think the plot matters to this story. The story is just a vehicle to make all the people meet each other.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that in that regard, they fixed a big problem with these shows, is that these shows didn't exist in the same quote-unquote universe,
Right.
which is a fucking mistake from the beginning.
They kind of did, though, but they left a lot of them in other universes now. We're already to the end of this thing, so I guess it's not going to...
Oh, well, if we're going to jump around, is it Tom Welling, the guy who's the Smallville Superman?
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
He's very buff.
You know what was a bummer about that? And that should have been your favorite part, Nips. Because it's the world where the bad guys won.
Yeah.
He's not Superman anymore, and Lex Luthor is the fucking president. You watch 10 fucking seasons of Smallville, and that guy lost.
That's a good point.
That being said, I liked that part better than probably I'd liked almost anything I'd ever watched of Smallville. So.
Yeah, I didn't, and the funny thing is, I didn't need to watch any of Smallville
Right.
to appreciate that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was strange to me the importance of Superman in this, because he was just a guest star a couple of times on
Right.
Supergirl, but you brought back Brandon, and I get it, because Brandon Routh's already in the show, and you could get Tom Welling, and Smallville was like CW's first
For sure,
big
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But it was strange to me that you have all these characters that we've spent years cultivating and building, and be like, "Ah, fuck those guys, we're just going to do a shit ton of Superman for 5 episodes.
Well, and I would say probably my favorite plot point in the thing was when you got the whole team together, because Ian was trying to explain this earlier, but there's 7 paragons you have to put together, and they're supposed to be able to top the monitor, and you think, hey, we've got the team together, everything's going to be cool, and then Lex Luthor kills Brandon Routh.
Yep.
And he takes his place. I thought that was pretty good, and again, fucking John Cryer has a fucking blast with that scene.
He definitely is having a ton of fun in that
This
role.
show's going off the rails. There's a book that just lets people write whatever they want. Imagine following this show on a weekly basis.
I tell you what-
any of these shows, they're completely nuts.
What's interesting about that book, The Book of Destiny, that Netflix Sandman show that's coming up, Book of Destiny plays a big part in Sandman lore, so I doubt they're going to sit it in the same universe as this stuff, but that item is definitely the same item.
It's What did you think? I'm curious to hear. You guys didn't get to this point. What did you think of the Hall of Justice?
I was. First of all, I love the old Super Friends theme.
Yeah.
I think that should be reused more. It's very dramatic. I thought it was cool when definitely was not expecting that when they panned out. I want to see who ends up getting Gleek.
Yeah. I immediately thought that's a fair point. Who gets? I just thought, oh shit, they're going to do the Wonder Twins,
right? Yeah.
Which seemed like they would make a ton of sense in this crazy bonkers universe.
Well, and Wonder Twins has been sort of pushed as like a young adult thing in DC Comics lately, so I could see that maybe being their like test run for this.
Yeah, it's. I think I texted the word bonkers to y'all when I was talking about it. It's the perfect word to describe it. It's pure chaos. I kind of agree with your assessment. I'm putting it right on near the line on Transformers. Yeah. Like, it's very similar to me. It's just fun, crazy shit happening on a screen. I don't really have to care about what the words people say.
Here's where I came off with it, and I have been probably more than any of you guys on brand as hating this shit, but this was kind of a Rosetta Stone for me. I don't know if I have a desire to go and start watching it now, but I can totally see why people like it now.
Yeah.
Like it
is fun.
I don't enjoy it now, but if I was 11, I would think this shit is fucking dope. It's for young adults. It's teen drama, and I think they do a good job of it, and I may try watching some of it. I don't know. Yeah. I had a lot of fun watching it.
No. You don't need to do that.
I don't intend on going back to watch it. I would say I think you probably could start now. It seems like everything's rebooted and reset,
exactly.
So you wouldn't need to go back, which in a lot of ways is like fucking DC Comics every 3 or 4 years. And so, it's just... it's hard for me to say it's bad because I sat there and watched it and had a good time. I wasn't motivated to go back and watch more, but there's worse shit on television.
Yeah. I tell you what, if they were doing a Brandon Routh Superman show instead of this short guy Superman show, I would totally watch that shit because that was the best part of it.
That's fair.
I got to bring some sanity back to the podcast. It's close, but I'm going worse than Transformers.
I know. That's the correct
call.
It's
like a 45%. It looks cheap.
It's on TV.
I mean, look, it had a movie budget. It was the same thing. It'd be better. The thing that's bringing it right below the line for me is just it's a little too cheap. For me.
I think there's peaks and valleys. When the Supermans fight, it doesn't look any worse than the Zack Snyder Superman.
See, I feel like that's stolen from the Zack Snyder movie. It was like a still that they just insert.
On the other hand, where the final battle for the universe takes place in a parking lot, that was pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Can arrows hurt ghosts?
Apparently
in the beginning when he died, Oliver, and I'm like, why is he staying extra minutes to shoot arrows at ghosts? But he was into it.
Dude,
he was doing flips.
Why did Supergirl need anybody's help to pull a fucking... That's the part I feel like we've grazed over the most. At one point, a giant blue Furby is the villain of this show.
Apparently that's a running gag in Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, really?
I haven't watched it. In the latest episode, I know they did a Bebo, and they did a trailer for a Detective Bebo movie, a ripoff of and Ryan Reynolds was cast as Detective Bebo.
Oh, really?
It's funny. Like, I didn't get that gag because I don't watch those shows.
Right.
But
it's one of those things where I understand that special effects wise and whatever, this doesn't make sense. But if this show came out in like 1995, sure, that's fine. I'd probably watch it. But, like, there's just so much other good shit to watch these days. Like, watching this is wasting my fucking time. So, if I spent my time, like, running out the clock till I died, sure, I'll watch this. But there's, like, good things that I can enjoy instead.
I mean, to be fair, though, you also say that Mindhunters is too long. So, I mean,
I've got so much other shit I'm getting to it.
My legitimate question to both of you, what's better on TV than on those first 5 or 6 channels? Not cable, not on fucking Netflix.
The one thing I would say is they fucking advertise shit about that animated Deathstroke show.
Well, that's brand new, and that's on the
that kind of peaked my interest.
CW Seed.
Yeah,
no, not a lot. That's what I'm saying. Those whole channels are worse than Transformers.
I'm not saying, I'm definitely not going to go back and watch it, but like I put it in the same fucking group that I'm not fucking going back and watching episodes of Roseanne either. Like that.
Roseanne's funny.
We're spoiled by HBO fucking and Netflix and Amazon Prime. I think for what they had to accomplish, They probably meet the mark.
Dude, they accomplished better with their budget than what the DC movies have with unlimited budget.
Yeah, I'd probably rather watch that than watch almost any DC movie we've had to this point.
I don't agree with that. Justice League is a fun movie to me.
Here's a comparison. Which do you think are better, these or the Marvel TV shows that we had on Netflix?
I think these are better.
I think these are better too.
Well,
these might be more fun.
I think I've watched the first season of Daredevil's better than this, but I've seen more of it, so it got worse. It's kind of like you know what I mean.
Jessica Jones is probably better.
The first
I
season
think
of
the
Jessica
3
Jones.
seasons of Daredevil and the 1 season of the first season of Jessica Jones. If you're just judging by that, maybe it's better.
Punisher too.
But doing the whole thing, this is better. This is more fun. This is more what I want from.
I would rather watch the 5 episodes of this than another minute of Defenders.
I would rather watch the 5 episodes of this than BVS ever again.
Yeah, well,
This is better than Defenders. Yeah. But it's worse than Transformers.
So I realize in this part I'm only talking to you because I don't think you two guys finished it. How do you feel about how the Earths landed? Like what ended up on what Earth? Because obviously it was done by network.
Yeah, no.
Although not really, because for some reason Titans and Doom Patrol are on a different network, even though they've crossed over. I mean, on a different Earth.
That was interesting to me because they crossed. Isn't Doom Patrol? Aren't they in the first season of Titans?
Doom Patrol is a spin-off of Titans.
So it was weird to me that they brokered that off, which said to me maybe one of those is going to HBO Max,
right. Or getting canceled,
Yeah. But I mean, it made sense.
I just wish they would. I know it's a different network and everything, but I wish the Green Lantern would have been in this.
Yeah, especially because you're not going to do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like there was no reason to not include it. I don't feel like, unless you make John Diggle Green Lantern.
This, he would make a good Green Lantern. He has the right shaped head.
Yeah.
This is something we didn't mention, which was probably the biggest fan servicey thing in the whole thing, that the Justice League movie Flash showed up.
Ezra Miller.
I want to say, talking about the Earth thing and that, I love that they made the fucking CW shows Earth Prime and the fucking DC movies are some other fucking random number.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, I like that.
So I don't understand because at that point they were on the last Earth. So was Ezra Miller like in the Speed Force?
They were both. They were all in the Speed Force.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, also, speaking of costumes, was it other Barry Allen? That was the old Barry Allen? Was he another Allen?
Okay, that's the original Flash
that's
TV
the original
show.
Flat Barry Allen.
Oh, okay. That costume was fucking terrible.
Well, it's from like 1992.
It was fucking suede.
That's Dawson's dad from Dawson's Creek.
Occasionally, I just like to catch you guys up on where I am on watching old soap operas on YouTube. And right now, I'm in 1981 on Guiding Light, and they're really trying to make this super couple of Kelly and Morgan happen, and they're just so fucking boring. Like Nola's supposed to be the villain in it, and Nola's so much more cooler than either of these two assholes. John Wesley Shipp played Kelly, so I hadn't even remembered that he was in all these, but as soon as he showed up, I was like, fuck, I hope Kelly Nelson dies. And he did, and I was really happy. Yeah. That might have been what won the whole thing over for me, honestly.
Yeah, John Wesley Shipp played the Flash on a TV show. I mean, real fucking early 90s.
Yeah.
And then played Barry's dad on the new version of the show, and has played...
And played Jay Garrick Flash.
Jay Garrick, yeah.
And also played this Flash.
Yeah, he's been around in the Flash lore for a while. I do think it's fun they went back to the original suit from the show, but...
And later they showed a scene from it, and the scene was nice. It makes me think that show might be worth revisiting, but it's not.
I feel like they just stretched that Speed Force power out a lot. He reached into him and stole his Speed Force. I don't know. Look, just make the Flash fast. If you can't do original stuff with that, don't start reaching them into people.
I don't even know exactly what you're saying, but okay.
He slowed down Barry Allen. He sucked his Speed Force out, and I didn't even think that was like a Flash power.
Oh no, that's a thing that that's a thing they can do. They can steal Speed.
This is why I stopped watching the Flash, because every Speed Force person has the same shit, and they just do it back and forth to each other. And if you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times.
So that's the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Or whatever this was.
A few episodes ago, I forget, what was it that Regina said that, I really like that one because you guys never went off the rails on it.
Watchmen.
Boy, Regina's not going to enjoy this one because there's no structure.
To be fair,
we just yelled for 20 minutes.
That's how the show is.
That is the show.
I mean, it is a really fair... That's a good point. It's a good accuracy.
Well, I don't think we know this stuff as well either. So it's harder to structure it.
Yeah, we're just judging off the shit we saw because we have no background whatsoever.
No point of reference.
Honestly, that's probably the part I enjoyed. I very rarely am willing to experience something new, especially when I have preconceived notions that it's shit, and not give myself like a helping hand. Like I've watched, for example, when El Camino came out, I had all intent in going back and watching Breaking Bad because I couldn't remember all the shit. And so I watched El Camino, and some things I was like, oh, I remember that, and I kind of don't, and I would look it up and help myself. I didn't do that at all with this show. I just said, I'm fucking going in blind, and we'll see what happens. Right. And you know what? There were worse ways to spend 5 hours.
I honestly think that's what made it the most fun to me, is because I didn't have a clue what was going on, and it was just like, it was just, it was looking into someone else's thing and deciding whether or not that thing was worthwhile. And I think it was worthwhile, even though I probably won't do it again.
Yeah. No, that part was interesting.
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
We get it, Joseph. You don't want to talk about it anymore. And yours opinion is the only one that matters here.
Well, we're split officially on it, too, but it's close. It's not the worst thing. I had fun with it.
So what have you been watching, guys?
I want to go last.
Okay.
I can go.
Okay,
you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I haven't watched much. I did go to Universal.
You've been living life, man.
Yeah, so I figured, Hertz done like records and comic books. I can do rides. So I went on Hagrid's Motorbike, the new roller coaster in Universal, and that's like a legit roller coaster. Like it's 2-person and like 8 people back, and you're like on Hagrid's cart, and then someone's in a side cart. That thing's dope. You do like a lot of really low and side to side, and it's super fast. And then you hit a point, and you go backwards and do the whole thing. But like the track switches, so you're going like a different way. And if you're into roller coasters, I definitely do that one. The line, just, hit it early. And then we did the other 2 Harry Potter ones, Gringotts Bank, which is like a roller coaster. That's like less mild, so like if you're not crazy into attractions, you don't like fast stuff, it's more like VR. Kind of like you and like
that's
in a
real
stationary,
popular at Universal.
Yeah, with like a lot of like movie screens, and it makes you feel like you're falling, but you're not going crazy.
Well, and the Gringotts Bank scene in the last Harry Potter was like, when you're watching, it's like, oh, they want this to be a ride.
Yeah. And it's super cool. Like you feel like you're there. And then the third one is I forget the name of it, but it's like a tour of Hogwarts, and it's like a hanging roller coaster, but it's probably the most mild of the 3. And it's like it still makes you feel like you're playing Quidditch and like getting chased by a dragon. So that's super cool.
That sounds fun.
We did Fast.
That ride is super cool.
Yeah, those 3 are all better than Transformers. We did the Transformers ride, which at first I said was a little better than Transformers, but it's much better. I read a few more, wrote a few more at Universal after that are worse. That's like a straight VR roller coaster that like anyone can do, because you're not really moving, but it makes you feel like you're moving.
My favorite part of that ride is, as a person who's grown up loving Transformers, there's a part where like you see Optimus in like his full height, and he like bends over and talks to you and shit. And it felt real. It's the closest thing I'm ever going to experience to being right in front of Optimus Prime.
Yeah, you're basically trying to get away from Megatron and the Decepticons, and it's cool. And then we did the Spider-Man, which is like a comic book take on it, and that's the same thing as Transformers, but like I think it's a little older. Yeah, that one was like worse than Transformers, but just by a bit. You know what I mean? Compared to everything else that I've been doing.
Did you say worse than Tremors?
Worse than Transformers.
That is what he said.
See, that one's just because it's old.
Wait,
that's just real old.
No. Yeah, it's a cool ass ride. I just feel like with what they've done since, it's kind of like the comparison.
I'm pretty sure that ride opened with Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the worst one, though, I thought was the Fast and Furious Supercharged, because that's like a
that
newer
like
ride.
Brand new, yeah.
Yeah, and that one is weak. Like the Spider-Man and the Transformers are both better. So that one was, you're in a bus and like, I don't know, Vin Diesel's jumping on a helicopter. It's just, it's not good.
Don't they have a Tonight Show ride? Like,
yep, we did that, and that one's actually better than Fast and Furious. Like, it's pretty fun. You like kind of just race through New York. And then Susie's favorite was the Men in Black, which is kind of like interactive. It's a lot of like real props. Kind of like that one's an older one too, but it holds up well. So
is the Men in Black one the shooty one?
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that one's real fun.
Yeah, that one's, and you're racing against, you're competing against 2 other people, and you kind of have scores. And I think if you've done the Buzz Lightyear ride at Hollywood Studios, it's a lot like that. So,
but the controls are better.
Yeah, and
Buzz Lightyear
I
ride.
destroyed her in points. At like 183.
You want to put that on record?
Yeah. I was the winner. So yeah. Other than that, I just watched Bad Boys 1 and Bad Boys 2. I didn't realize Bad Boys 1, Martin Lawrence was the star. That movie is very 90s, but it holds up. It's fucking, He's so funny. I love Martin Lawrence coming off those 2 movies. And then Bad Boys 2 is like really long. I forgot how like it's just action piece to action piece to action piece.
It's like well over 2 hours.
It's like 2.5 hours. Then they go to Cuba, and I'm like, it's fun, but man, that's like the most Michael Bay excessive movie because it just he's
Have you seen Six Underground?
No, I haven't seen that.
That's the most Michael.
He's
Bay.
like, I just want to blow shit up, and he sure did. But yeah, Martin Lawrence is great. I'm gonna watch the new one eventually. So
I like it. I am current on Schitt's Creek, which is currently its 6th and final season. It's still good.
Yep.
Still the same old stuff. I am almost done with my BoJack rewatch in anticipation of the new season, which comes out this Friday.
Oh wow!
You gotta power through.
I'm into season 5. It's great and depressing shit. I highly, I used to say it's not for everybody. Fuck you guys. Everybody should watch it. It's fantastic. It's really well done.
How many seasons are you in the last season?
5 seasons. Well, five and a half seasons are out, and
Okay.
then the last half of the 6th season's coming out. But the main thing that I watched this past week that I was surprised and delighted by was Jojo Rabbit. I went to go see that finally. I can't remember. You haven't seen it, but you two have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you guys undersold it. Maybe it was just it hit me at the right moment and just.
I said nothing but good things
Yeah,
about
that's all
it.
I said too. I said it was one of my favorite movies of the year.
I think it was my favorite movie of the year. It was just it was charming and sweet and sad and just like lovely.
The boy was great
and hilarious. I mean, Taika Waititi's great as Hitler, but I mean, like everybody's killing it.
Wasn't ScarJo great?
ScarJo,
that one scene where she plays the dad.
ScarJo and Sam Rockwell are so fucking charismatic.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I loved this movie.
I thought all 3 kids were great in it.
Yes,
too. The kid with the glasses.
Yeah, the Yorkie kid. Yeah, he's
so funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great movie. That's
will,
all we said.
I will say, I will say the kid who's the main kid is like doing a German accent because he's in Germany. Everybody else is doing it. The kid who plays Yorkie, the other friend, just English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main kid might actually be German.
I don't think he is.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good German accent.
It's a pretty good German accent, yeah, for sure.
I'm not
sure. But
sure.
that's way better than Transformers. I don't know, again, for Oscar purposes, I think there are probably movies that have done maybe more original things, but it's probably like the movie that I would most come back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just light.
Yeah.
I definitely
for an
would.
Oscar, but it's good.
That scene, I don't want to spoilers, but with him finding his mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Gut-wrenching.
ScarJo's great in that movie.
Yeah, she's so good.
So, I had made a decision going into this week to try to tighten up the pod. I was only going to watch one thing.
And then
be prepared to watch that and talk about that one thing. But then I found out when I got here, I can't talk about that thing.
Sorry, buddy.
Because Christian Jones has not watched it.
Yeah.
But I watched Picard, and I fucking really liked it. There's a lot of like reviews out there that are very like, oh, I don't want to commit to this too much. But I'm committing. I thought it was super fun. I really like that Trek is going forward. We haven't really moved forward since 2004. It's all been stuff where we go back to the past, but this is going forward. And, I've been wanting Trek to go forward because the world is so different now than it was in 1987, which was the last time it upgraded. And this definitely goes forward. It's about shit right now. And I liked it a lot. The only complaint I have on it, there's one scene on it that's like a fight that's on a rooftop that literally just looks like a rooftop to a fucking building here in town. Like something that you and your fucking friends would, hey, let's make a home movie of us fighting on the top of this roof. Like, it looks like that. But besides that, way better than Transformers.
Is it all released at once?
No, they're doing it per week.
Okay, so just one out so far?
One out. But yeah, it was really good. Again, I won't spoil anything, but where Picard is and why he is there was not what I was expecting. Who the girl is was not what I was expecting. And I really liked it a lot. That's about it. I also, I guess I found out there's an entire network on Pluto that just plays Tosh.0. Like 24 hours a day. And, I need a show that I can watch over and over, but I can't stream it. It's got to be something that happens to me. And you guys know Raymond was doing bad things for me.
Yeah.
Raymond was not helping my depression.
Daniel Tosh
Raymond was piling on my depression. But I'm exactly the kind of douchebag that loves Daniel Tosh, so it's been really fun. So that's about it. That's all I got.
It's a good transition because before pre-November, I had started rewatching Next Generation.
Right.
And I had stopped because I had 11 Star Wars movies and not only had I committed to rewatching all of those, I had committed to rewatching all the television as well.
Right.
So since November, I've watched 11 Star Wars films, 8 seasons of television, and I've read 1 Star Wars novel and played a Star Wars video game. So I got back on Next Generation this week. I'm in the 3rd season. Me and my wife watch like 2 or 3 episodes at night, so it takes us about a week to get through a season. But hopefully by the time I'm caught up, Picard will all be out, and I can just pay for 1 month of CBS All Access and power through. I don't want you to feel like you can't talk about it.
Well, I mean, I won't spoil anything anyway, because I definitely don't want to spoil this for you. Is 3rd season where Yesterday's Enterprise is?
Yes.
That's the best fucking episode.
Yeah. I also kind of got spoiled that, what's his fucking name? The guy who wants to tear Data apart. Doesn't he come back?
He is mentioned heavily in this, but we don't see him yet. But I get the feeling he's going to be part of the show.
Man, I watched that episode and the next day I saw that fucking article online. So I started the Next Generation. It's awesome. I started a new show on Netflix called The Goop Lab, which is Gwyneth Paltrow's company.
Gwyneth Paltrow show.
So backstory a little bit about me. You guys all know I've battled anxiety and depression and PTSD for a long time. I've been in and out of therapy, and one thing I've always refused to do is take mood altering medication. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's just something for me I've never chosen to do. And so one of the ways I've really dealt with mine is breathing techniques and shit like that. I'm not really a big believer in Eastern medicine. I'm pretty skeptical on that stuff, but I do believe learning to control your breath and focus on your breathing can be very empowering. And so I was intrigued by this show because of some of the alternative things they do to talk about this stuff. For example, doing psilocybin or MDMA in controlled environments and powered breathing, cold exposure, stuff like that. It's interesting to at least watch these people. I don't have an opinion on how accurate it is. They are obviously portraying it as it's very helpful and works. But at least I find it very interesting to watch people go through these therapy treatments. Because that's what it's about. It's her team and basically people, for example, they go do a mushroom, a mitigated controlled psilocybin thing where there's therapists there who sit with them while they do shrooms. And it's for people who've dealt with trauma, and people seem to at least, deal with it, and at least they talk positively about it. When they do stress and anxiety, they do cold exposure, or they do controlled breathing. I'm intrigued. I'm going to keep watching. It's, maybe we'll get the vagina candle episode. I'm hopeful.
I don't prescribe to memes very much, and I definitely think trying to describe a meme, you're always going to fail. But I think I can do this without even fully describing it. My favorite thing that came after the vagina scented catalog was someone made a 7-based meme around that. Imagine that meme in your head. It's that meme, and it's hilarious. It's the what's in the box scene.
That's very applicable. And finally, I watched the 1st season of Star Wars Resistance. And I got to talk a little bit about Star Wars Resistance. So, I will say what I like. I like the animation style. It's kind of like a cel-shaded anime type thing. I like the premise, this idea of a hotshot pilot being recruited by the Resistance and becomes a spy. All of that's very interesting. What's really the problem with this show, and it's so hard not to compare it to Rebels or Clone Wars, because that's what we've already had in the animated world, but 2, because I just watched them, is that, number one, Dave Filoni not really involved with Resistance. It was his idea, but he's not really involved in the writing room. He doesn't really direct the episodes. He kind of pitched this thing and then turned his attention to Mandalorian. And there's this famous quote about Clone Wars by Jet Lucas, George's son, which is that Clone Wars is Star Wars for people who are tired of talking about Star Wars. It's just a bunch of random stories in the Star Wars universe that George Lucas always wanted to tell, but didn't fit in with what the audience wanted to see in the Star Wars movies.
Right.
And so Dave Filoni and him basically teamed up and said, how can we do this and make it still feel like Star Wars at large? So they take minor characters like Bossk, Aura Singh, even Jango and Boba, and they make them central characters and they craft stories around them.
Right.
there's nothing to do with that. There's nothing to go off in Resistance. I think because the sequel trilogy is so nostalgia heavy that, the closest thing that ties into it is like the whatever species Unkar Plutt is in Force Awakens. There's another one of those in this. Like, there's just not the connect. Like, I think a lot about the Mortis arc being a perfect example of something that stands. Like, if you showed me that and showed me Luke, Han, and Leia, I would tell you they don't exist in the same universe. They're so totally different.
Right.
But including like Shmi Skywalker and Darth Vader in the Mortis arc episodes, that connects it to everything happening at large. There's nothing like that going on in Resistance.
Well, I tell you why I never tried to watch this. Like Clone Wars and Rebels both felt like they were part of the plan.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't, they felt like it. At the point when this premiered, I'd started to get the vibe that in the new trilogy, there wasn't really a plan. Mm-hmm. So how could this be part of the plan?
Yeah, it doesn't
And that
connect.
sounds exactly like what you're describing.
I mean, if you're a big fan of Phasma, Poe, and BB-8, you'll probably like this show. Honestly, that's my 3 least favorite parts of the new trilogy. So, like...
What did BB-8 do to you?
I love BB-8.
Yeah, BB-8's fine, but BB-8's sidelines are too pretty heavily. It just, like, I don't know. It just feels lacking. I'll watch the last season when it comes out on Disney+, but I'm going to go worse than Transformers.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I definitely... Because when I saw the animation style, I really like that. It reminds me of, like... Remember Liquid Television?
Yeah, it felt very like familiar.
But yeah, something about it just felt like this isn't going to really count, and it sounds like that's exactly what it was.
So that's it.
Fair enough. Next week, we're 2 weeks out from the Oscars, so we got one more.
None of us watch Gentlemen?
No.
Crazy.
Guy Ritchie stock has fallen.
I can't wait to watch it. Sarah was
great.
out of town this weekend, so I didn't get to.
My grandma watched it. It was great.
I am now only 2 movies away from having seen all Best Picture winners, and I'm determined to fucking see the 2 of them before.
Which one
I'm closer than you.
I got 1917 and Little Women.
Those are the 2 I think I have.
Yeah.
I got Parasite and Marriage Story.
It's going to be harder for you to see Parasite, though.
We have it.
Oh, fuck.
We just got
Marriage Story, you got to go home and watch tonight.
I know. It's so sad and depressing.
Yeah,
I can't make myself do it.
So anyway,
I'll say this after.
we're 2 weeks out from Oscars. We're going to do one more topic episode next week, and then an Oscars breakdown and an analysis the week after. So join us next week for that. Thank you guys for listening. Please rate and subscribe and tell your friends about the podcast. It's the best way to get new listeners and expand our fan base. Mm-hmm. If you want to get in touch with us and tell us how you feel about the Crisis on Infinite Earths or any of the CW shows, or if you watch Smallville, tell us about Smallville.
If you've watched one of these, give us a shout.
You can if we're completely wrong about this, tell us why.
Oh, I want to know. Absolutely.
You can reach us at realphonies@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at realphonies and on Instagram at real_phonies. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Peace.